All right, love bugs, part 3 of Love Embodied. Connection to source, self, and love. Double streaming Facebook and Instagram. Okay, here we go, everybody. Happy Friday. It's Friday. I love it. Who we got? Say hello. Sarah, hello. Moonflower Creations. Alyssa, right? So, here we are, part 3 of the Love Embodied training. I'm your hostess. You know who the heck I am. I don't have to tell you who I am. Today, all about connection to self, connection to source, connection to love, which is the whole point of this training. Good. Okay, I thought so. Hi, Alyssa. Say hi as you jump on. Share with me one thing you are grateful for. How about that? Let's start with a little gratitude train. It's Friday. What are you grateful for? I am grateful that it's Friday. I am grateful that normally on Fridays I don't work. I don't have client calls. I don't have videos. I don't have live streams. And so I'm actually really grateful that I get to do this today on Friday and be here with you all. And I'm grateful that I don't have any client calls today, that this just gets to be my main focus. I'm grateful that I had just a slow morning. I was gonna do yoga and I was like, not feeling it. Instead, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna listen to Abraham Hicks. I'm gonna journal. I'm gonna do my hair, right? I was just really enjoying the slow morning. And this is definitely a continuation of yesterday's theme, which is pleasure. Self-pleasure, not doing what you have to do, but doing what you want to do. All right, now those of you on Facebook, I can't see your comments. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's not there, so I apologize. You're welcome to join me on Instagram at Manifest with Emerald, or I will see your comments when the video is done, and I promise I'll reply. Alyssa is grateful for the warmer weather. So am I, sister. We've been hitting the 70s. I went for a hike yesterday. I'm so grateful for that. So as we talked about yesterday, gratitude, appreciation can help to raise your vibe and put you much more in a pleasure-filled state. So connection to self, connection to source, connection to love. So I'm just going to riff a little bit on my belief systems. It's my belief systems, but also sharing this with a client yesterday. It's what I know. It's what I know to be true. For a while, it was a hope when I was searching for truth, and then it was a belief system, and now it's a knowing. And there's a difference between a belief system and a knowing, because I believe a belief system is a thought you continue to think over and over and over and over and over again. So belief systems can be changed. Whereas when you have this inner knowing, it's like, that's just not going to shift. It's like that inner knowing that I am divine and I'm connected to source. I'm connected to truth. I'm connected to love. It's like, it's not a belief system. That is just who the fuck I am. And I guess you could argue it's a belief system, because if you don't have that knowing, then it is a belief system. And the best thing I can compare it to is religion. I think religion is a belief system. Now, there might be aspects of it where you will have this inner knowing around certain things. But when we really think about religion, and I guess I'm gonna talk about this. If we really think about religion, let's pretend this is like a Bible or a Quran or something. It is a book. It's a doctrine that's been handed down through the ages that says, this is what we believe here, you believe it. This is what we believe here, you believe it. This is what we believe here, you believe it. This is what we believe here, you believe it. And I could argue the exact same thing is happening collectively with society or with your family. Your parents passed on their belief systems that they got from their parents, 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 that they got from their parents. And so belief systems can be handed down, but a knowing is something that cannot be given to you. That's something you need to find for yourself. Yeah, you like my outfit? It's a little like romper. I love it. I just got it. No, that's not true, actually. I got it last year, but then I went to Turkey and only wore it once because I didn't bring it to Turkey. I thought I was going to wear it in Turkey. Actually, this is when I thought I was going to Italy. Anywho, so belief versus knowing. I can't hand you the knowing, but I can share with you my belief systems, and other people are sharing with you their belief systems all the time. So here's my belief system knowing around the universe, around source, around love. I believe that the energy of love is the energy of creation. And so you were created in love, and then love is what creates from there. Think about it. We talked about this yesterday. When two people make love, they could potentially create life. They could create a baby. And the energy of love, go back to day one, right? The frequency of love that I shared in the book, I am the Word, is a frequency. It's a vibration. It's not necessarily a verb. It's not necessarily a feeling. It's who you are. It's the frequency of the world. It's what created life on this planet as we know it. And I also believe that we, as spiritual beings, I believe that, and this kind of goes back to the Kabbalah actually. This is when I first learned this, and now as I've gotten deeper into my spiritual practice, as now I'm really studying channeled works and materials and channeling myself and connecting to source and really getting clear in my knowing, is that we are all connected. Some people call that God. Some people call it source. Some call it the universe. Doesn't matter what it's called, but there's that energy of all that is. And the contrast, the separation is how can you experience if you're part of everything? So having that separation of we as beings, of parts of the whole, is allowing us to experience. Because if we were still all connected, we wouldn't have that contrast. And so by me having part of my spiritualness, the everything, the all that is here in this physical form, I'm actually able to experience what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a white woman, what it means to be 35, what it means to be Emerald Sinclair, what it means to be traveling the world, what it means to be an embody, what it means to be athletic, what it means to move through my personal journey that my soul chose before I incarnated, as far as my issues and struggles and whatnot. But when I remember my divinity, it helps me to move beyond the BS, the forgetting, this role that I'm playing. So that connection to source, that connection to self, that connection to love is ultimately me remembering who I really am, which is connected to the whole, which is not just this body. This body will die and go away, hopefully in many, 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 many years, because I'm really enjoying being in a body. I'm really enjoying being on planet Earth right now. So, I'll take another 50 or 60 years, please. So let's say if you truly had this knowing of who you are, and you adopted the same belief system and knowing that I had, which is there's the all that is, let's call it God, let's call it universe, let's call it source energy, let's call it love, let's call it creation, the energy that created the cosmos, because where did this all come from? I don't believe Big Bang, oops, happened by accident. No, think about it. Think about how beautifully orchestrated everything needs to happen on this planet. We're the exact distance from the sun, spinning. We have the exact temperature for life on this earth. The plants are growing, releasing oxygen for us. A sperm and egg cell come together to create this. Like, there's just so much happening outside of our control that there's not a doubt in my mind. There is no way this was a Big Bang on accident. Are you freaking kidding me? This was on accident? I don't think so. So we have this energy, this consciousness, this creation that created the all that is, and it was all connected. It was everything, and it's still everything. And then the energy of creation wanted to experience itself, and how can you experience yourself if you're everything? And so here's us, a tiny little portion of who we actually are, here in the skin suit, enjoying life, fulfilling out choices that we made before we incarnated to learn the lessons for our highest evolution and spiritual growth. It's easy to forget. It's easy to be a human. It's easy to get caught up in the drama. It's easy to forget that you made the movie, you're watching the movie, and you're starring in the movie all at the same time. So the Emerald Sinclair is the role. This is the main character in my movie. But my higher self is the director. My soul, the bigger part of me, is what created the movie. But then I'm also watching the movie, right? Because I can sit here and watch myself think. I can step back. People have had out-of-body experiences. I have. And so you have all these different roles that you're playing, and when you connect to love, that's actually you remembering that you're directing the movie. That you're so much more powerful than simply, here I am in a body, I'm gonna live 80 years and then die and there's nothing more. What's the point? Truly, what is the point then? Now, you could choose to believe certain religious doctrine that says, well, you have got one chance, and then you either go to heaven or you go to hell. And that's it for eternity. My belief systems is right now here, you can create heaven on earth or hell on earth based on your thoughts and your belief systems and your actions. Think about it. You can create hell by the thoughts you're thinking. But you can also create heaven by the thoughts you're thinking. We can torture ourselves or we can love ourselves. And I believe we keep getting it shot over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because life continues. It goes on. It's all love. It's all source. It's all creation. You're never going to get it done. You continuously expand. Think about it. When you achieve a goal or a desire, what happens? You want to do the next goal. You don't just stop and say, all done. So you came here to create. You didn't come here to observe and regurgitate. You're a conscious creator. And the only way you'll be able to create the life of your dreams is if you are on board with my belief systems. My belief systems being that we live in a benevolent universe. We came here for the experience of experience. And so if you came here to truly experience being in a body and experiencing the contrast and playing out a role and learning the lessons that your soul chose, then it takes some of the pressure off of, we just got one shot. And then furthermore, if truly the point of life is to experience life and to feel good, because why do you want anything? Why do you want the guy? Why do you want the money in the bank account? Why do you want to travel around the world? Why do you want a new job? The reason you want anything is because of how you think you're going to feel when you get the thing. So that right there is already in the depths of our soul, that all I truly want is to feel good. Every single human being, can we raise our hands and agree the things we want out of life is because of how we think we're going to feel when we get it? Why is that in every single human being if the point of life is not to pursue that which lights your soul on fire and makes you happy? So that's my belief system, and that is my knowing. And I was reading a book. It's the Book of Knowing and Worth, same author, Paul Selig. It's a 6-book series, a channeled series. And one of the students asked, what's the point of life? And it was such a beautiful reply. The reply was, the point of life is to realize the divinity within you, that Christ self, and to be that in any situation with every person. That to me is love embodied. To embody love in every moment with every person in every situation to the best of your ability. And then everything else, what you do, where you do it, how you do it, your job, who you marry, what you do for fun, doesn't matter. Do what you want. Doesn't that take some of the pressure off of it? Is if my only goal in life was, or the purpose in life was to embody love, to be in a loving state, to be in a happy state, a blissful state, a joyful state as much as I can in all situations, and then the rest doesn't matter. The rest is truly whatever the heck you want to do based on what makes you feel good. Can I get an amen? So these are my belief systems. This is my knowing. This is how I am able to move forward into the world most of the time in such a state of, what am I going to do today that helps me to feel good? And what's in alignment with my bigger mission as a human, as an Emerald Sinclair, as a guide? What's in alignment with my mission to help people remember who they are, why they're here, and who it is they're here to serve? So my mission, as I'm so in alignment that I want to help every single person that I can remember that their goal is to be the embodiment of love. That's it. Everything else doesn't really matter. Do what you want, because if you're in the embodiment of love, if you're in that energetic state, are you truly going to go out into the world and like rape and kill and murder and plumage? It's not even a word. There's a word I was trying to think of. But when you're in that higher vibrational state of love, you're not going to go out into the world as a complete a-hole. Yes, you're going to be self-centered, focus on what feels best for me. But when you're embodying love in that higher vibrational state, people are going to feel that. And then you're going to affect them because everything is energy. And then because everything is energy, you're going to attract to you those like-minded souls that are also on that same path of, why don't we all just try to be the best we can be and feel love at all times? Can you imagine a planet where every single human was focusing on feeling love at all times instead of fear and separation and anger and anxiety and depression? That's heaven on earth. That's the point. All right, we got a couple amens. That's what I was saying. Hallelujah. So, quick question. Alicia, were you in Facebook? Like, was it actually working and then you jumped over to Instagram? Because I know you were on Facebook yesterday. I just want to make sure it's actually maybe perhaps recording. If not, that's why I always double stream, cover my back. So how the heck did I come to believe what it is I believe? Well, part of the reason I believe I'm a Sagittarius, because I totally believe in astrology, is that Sagittarians, they care about searching for that higher truth. They have a really big spiritual connection. And so for me, this has been my passion for a very long time. I remember reading these types of books on consciousness and channeling and spirituality in high school. It was, all right, there's gotta be something bigger out here than what I have been taught in my tiny little town in Harvard, Illinois. Like, this just, religion never really resonated with me. I'm like, don't tell me what to believe. I just know. And this is my entire life. I've always been the type of woman that's like, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to believe. I'm gonna figure it out for myself. And so the beauty of it is, wow, this is how I have created and crafted my spiritual beliefs and knowing, is I was searching for more. So, I mean, countless books, countless podcasts, countless coaches, countless workshops, but ultimately I took in as much information as I could, and then I let it percolate to form my belief systems. Then what I did is created my own connection with Source through prayer, meditation, and then eventually channeling and having that direct contact with Source. That was one of the things I never really enjoyed about religion, is it felt like there was a middleman instead of, well, wait a second, I'm divine. I have the same abilities as any pastor or priest. Why can't I connect to God and get my own answers? Yes, Desiree is also a Sag. I crave travel and seeking also. Yeah, I mean, I'm just about to start on a 6-month solo trip. Now, mind you, I won't be alone the whole time because I'll be bouncing around seeing friends. So this connection to Source is something that I couldn't give you. But what I can do is share my examples, share my stories, share how I have walked my path, in hopes that it inspires you to create your own connection, your own knowing. And once again, it was, if you want to have a relationship with anything or anyone in life, then you have to make that conscious effort every day. And the biggest things that I would suggest would be prayer and meditation. Prayer is asking, prayer is talking to God, talking to Source, talking to your spirit guides, talking to angels, talking to fairies, talking to the God or to Source, whatever. Meditation, though, is saying, oh, I'm going to make space to listen. And you do that on a consistent basis, that will build a relationship with Source. And maybe you're like, I don't know what's out there. So you could start journaling and say, dear, whatever is out there, I'm not certain what exists, but I would like to know. I'd like to have belief. I'd like to have faith. I'd like to have a knowing. So help me, guide me. Plant medicine has been a big part of my journey. I've done ayahuasca ceremonies. I've done San Pedro ceremonies. I just recently did Kambo, which is a frog poison medicine while down in Ecuador. I've used marijuana, psilocybin medicinally. And that's not for everyone, I'm not gonna lie. But for me, it helped me open the mind and move beyond the ego and see what was beyond and experience that feeling of love and connectedness. So it like opened the door of spirituality for me. So how can you deepen your connection with Source, with love, and then furthermore with yourself? It's making a commitment each and every day to have that relationship. So once again, prayer, meditation, journaling, maybe plant medicine, maybe digging into certain books that are channeled materials, maybe studying a variety of religions and taking what feels right to you. So no one has given me their belief system. They might have told me what they believed or offered me books, but it's over the years of me connecting with my body of what feels right. If it feels right for you, it's meant for you. There's so many beautiful parts about religion. And there's so many things that I'm like, that doesn't work for me. So I'm encouraging you to form your own belief system based on what feels right. And when it feels right, eventually it will become a knowing. It's just no, it's not a belief system that was handed to me. It's a knowing in my heart, in my bones, in my soul. And everything I have learned right now at 35, it feels like a knowing, not a belief system. It is a knowing that I am a divine spiritual being, that I am part of the whole, that part of my soul is right now in this body for 80 or 90 years. I have a feeling that I'm going to live a really long life. And so the reincarnation, we're never getting it done. We're never getting it right. We're coming here to experience for the pure joy of pleasure. We're coming here to remember. We're riding the wave of consciousness, of remembering. We're moving out of the dark ages of suppression and control. We're stepping so much more into our divinity of who we really are. But it's cyclical. I've read some books that talk about the 26,000 year cycle of the Earth through the universe? Through the galaxy? Something. Galactic center, perhaps? And the 13,000 years of descent, 13,000 years of ascent. So we have like a peak high and a peak low, and so we're just moving out of the dark ages, so to speak. And we're going to spend the next 10,000 years journeying up the path to enlightenment. And then when you really start to read about ancient civilizations like the Lemurians, the Atlanteans, the Egyptians, and everything they did, you're like, wait a second. The Peruvians, if you ever been to Machu Picchu, Sauce Woman, like these ancient civilizations were so much smarter than we were. But think about how many years ago it were. They were advanced civilizations. We have that power. We have that divinity as well. So, I had in my notes, I wanted to read a little excerpt from my book. So I'm gonna. The power of prayer. Some people think that asking for help is a sign of weakness. I think it's a sign of strength. You're drawing on the collective to accomplish that which one could not accomplish alone. So I want to tell you a quick story taken from studies done by Masaru Emoto. Masaru took pictures of frozen water crystals from various sources of water. Anybody read The Hidden Messages in Water? Anybody? I first learned about this book in What the Bleep Do We Know? Anybody seen that movie? Oh my God, seriously, highly recommended. Okay, so he took pictures of frozen water crystals from various sources of water. Generally, clean, healthy water creates beautifully formed geometric crystals, while polluted water is too sick to form any at all. So here's a couple examples of beautiful water crystals of healthy water. Look them up, Masaru Emoto, Hidden Messages in Water, and then What the Bleep Do We Know? So then Mr. Emoto decided, well, let's see how thoughts and words affect the formation of untreated distilled water crystals. So neutral water. Let's just see how thoughts and words affect it. So to the left is an image of polluted and toxic water from a dam. To the right is the same water after a Buddhist monk prayed over it for 1 hour. The prayer restored the water back to its beautiful geometric form. Seriously. And there's so many more studies. So I'm gonna keep reading the book. So when you think about what prayer does to water, imagine what your thoughts are doing to your mind on a daily basis. What they're doing to your body. Your body is 70% water. So does that not show you a little example of how powerful you are? In the beginning was the Word. Isn't that like the first line in the Bible? The Word spoke things into existence. What are you thinking? What are you speaking? You have that exact same power within you. If a Buddhist monk can pray over water and change the structure of it, why can't you? You're a human being just like the Buddhist monk is. So prayer is nothing more than a powerful desire. One could even call it an intention. A Course in Miracles says, prayer is a way of asking for something. It's the medium of miracles. But the only meaningful prayer is for forgiveness, because those who have been forgiven have everything. The prayer for forgiveness is nothing more than a request that you may be able to recognize what you already have. Okay, I don't think I want to read any more in that chapter. So, spiritual practice, having faith, prayer, meditation. In the beginning, and let's see, so I grew up religious and never resonated with me. Didn't like it, not gonna lie, right? Didn't like it. And so I've had a lot of my own work that I've had to do to move beyond religious doctrine. And so studying A Course in Miracles uses Christian terminology like God and Holy Spirit and miracles and prayer. And I've had to disassociate those old belief systems around what I felt and thought was this form of control of like, this is what's right. You have to believe this. And so I've had to move beyond the words and what I was told they were mean and get to this space of like, oh, prayer is communication with the universe. It's setting your intentions. It's setting your desires. It's asking for support. It's asking for help. Whereas meditation is taking the time to listen. So every day I journal, I'm like, hey, universe, help me to blah, blah, blah. Thank you for blah, blah, blah. Like I am in constant communication. So if you're not in communication with the greater I am, then how are you building a spiritual practice and having faith? And then I'll also have clients, I'm like, keep a journal, keep a manifestation journal of things that have come true. That's gonna build up much more faith and trust in the universe if you realize, wow, I'm co-creating here. I asked for a thing and it happened. So what you could do moving forward, hopefully you understand now, is build that relationship, consistent prayer, consistent meditation. Consistently read books that have to do with these topics. Form your own beliefs of what works for you. If something I say resonates with you and it feels good, then take it on. A belief system is nothing more than thoughts you think over and over and over and over and over again. And you have to believe it in order to receive it, like I said yesterday, which came through me, which is such a beautiful reminder. You can change your belief systems. People do it all the time, and when you change your belief systems, you change your life. So what if you took on my belief systems, which is, we live in a benevolent universe. The world is abundant and so am I. My desires are sacred and meant to manifest. I am God's source energy. I'm a powerful creator. And I can create whatever I want. And everything is good. My desires are good. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not flawed. I'm not a sinner. I can forgive myself. But there's really nothing to forgive. Forgiveness is the illusion. Forgiveness is the removal of the illusion of sin, as A Course in Miracles states. And sin is just thinking that you're separate, that you're bad, that you're wrong, that your brother's bad, that your brother's wrong. It's that separation from God's source energy, from all that is. Which is why I really love A Course in Miracles. It resonates with me. I'm like, yes, amen, hallelujah. I never felt that I was wrong or bad or a sinner and I had to prove myself right in order to get into this place up in the sky after I die. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't feel right in my bones. But if it feels right for you, great, go for it. But I will never believe in a God who punishes me. I will never believe in a universe that's not abundant and loving. That just to me goes against absolutely everything when you look out the window and see such a loving, beautiful, abundant world where life continues to go on and on and on and on and on. No matter how much we humans try to destroy the planet, life continues. It just keeps going. So a belief system is nothing more than something you've thought or something we have collectively thought on the planet for many of millennia, and then it's been handed on, handed down, handed down, handed down. And so a lot of people will argue and say, but Emerald, this is truth. This is what is. I'm like, yeah, because someone told you it was truth and you adopted that belief system and agreed to it. Great. You can choose again. So what do you choose? What do you choose to believe? What do you choose to know? What do you choose to remember? How do you choose to feel? I choose love. I choose happiness. I choose joy. I choose, when given the choice, do I want to believe that I am inherently flawed and a bad person? Or do I want to believe that I am divine, source energy, powerful creator, the ability to create worlds? Which one feels better? That should be pretty obvious. And that's how I will guide my clients when they say, but how do I know if this is my higher self talking or my ego, the monkey mind? I'm like, well, what feels better? Fear-based thoughts will always feel yucky. You feel it in your body. Whereas your higher self, who only can see your divinity because that is your higher self, it's always going to feel good. So your choice. When you're feeling bad, it's because you're out of alignment with your higher self, what your higher self knows to be true. Or let's replace the word God. What does God think about you? Once again, I believe in a benevolent, loving God and universe. So God's not looking down at you and saying, bad girl, you need to be punished. God is like, you're beautiful. Look at you. Oh, you fell down. Oh, you got divorced. Oh, you cheated on your husband. I love you. Because source energy just sees the divinity in you, the love in you. So part of this whole training and embodying love means we need to rise above this egoic, humanistic view of ourselves that we are bad, that we are flawed. Because you're not bad, you're not flawed. You're just experiencing life. And who decides? Let's get into this. Who decides what's right, wrong, good, or bad? We have a collective belief system and cultural norms. That's it. Truly, you've taken them on and decided this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. But nothing is good, bad, right, or wrong. You are the one who judges things and decides. Because your view of right, wrong, good, and bad is going to be completely different from someone else's viewpoint of right, wrong, good, or bad. So get over yourself. Move beyond the ego. Move beyond judgment and decide that actually I'm divine. I'm an amazing human being. I'm learning things. I'm learning my lessons. If something feels wrong, feels bad, probably not going to do that again. That's my tuning fork. That's how I go through the world. That's how I find alignment. If that feels bad, well then let me go over here to what feels good. That's an alignment with my higher self. That's an alignment with truth. That's an alignment with love. But if it feels bad, it's not for you. So I believe we all need to be more selfish, more connected to self first. Selfish, connect to self. Based on what feels good, what feels right for me. That is your answer in all times. Not what I tell you, not what someone else tells you, not what religion tells you, not what society tells you. What feels right for you? That's your guidance system, sweetie. That's it. Move forward from this day declaring that I'm going to do what feels right for me, not what I think is right, not what I should do, not what belief systems have been handed to me that collectively we've all agreed to, but you connecting to you, deciding what feels right for you. One more reading. And then we'll go into any questions. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Single to Soulmate, my group coaching program. And then I'm going to lovingly bid you adieu into your weekend, where you can go on out there and start practicing connecting to yourself, connecting to source, and finding your own inner guidance system of truth. Choose love. Because I have a choice, I always choose love. Deepak Chopra. I'm a big Deepak fan. He throws down some amazing nuggets of truth, and I think what he said up there sums it up perfectly. Choose love. I know, it's not as simple as that, especially after a lifetime of experiencing life. People lie, our parents unknowingly mislead us while they're looking out for us, we unfairly get fired or looked over for a promotion, a partner cheats, another stays when she really doesn't want to. The list goes on and on. So how do you choose love, no matter what? Well, I considered starting this chapter with a different quote that is way overused but oh so pertinent to the topic. The day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. It's a quote I think you should post somewhere in your house where you'll see it every day, especially if you're one of those people who have a problem staying open to the possibility of love. You can choose to put a wall around your heart, like I did for so many years. But guess what? You'll never experience a deep, profound, and trusting partnership, or any relationship for that matter. It doesn't have to be with your partner, it can be with friends, family, loved ones. You can choose to resist being vulnerable and close your heart, and sure, you'll never get your heart broken. But you also won't know what it's like to dive deep with a partner and experience what it feels like to know that someone else sees the real you and loves you because of your flaws. Which, by the way, your flaws are just what you've decided are your flaws. It's like, if you looked at yourself like you would your little daughter, like let's say she's 5 and she's like, "Mommy, I'm ugly," what would you tell her? You wouldn't be like, "Yeah, you're ugly because you have a birthmark right there, or a zit right here, or your thighs touch, or your tummy's flabby." No, you wouldn't say that. You'd be like, "What do you mean? You're this beautiful, divine child of God." So how could you look at yourself in that same way? It's a choice. You can look in the mirror and say, "Hey, I hate you," or you can look in the mirror and say, "Hey, gorgeous." The view hasn't changed, but your mind has. Every day is a choice. You can choose to block your heart to love. Or, and this is my personal preference, you can choose love. You get to make the important and brave decision to open your heart to love, even though it's been bruised, broken, and ripped out of your chest and smashed into a million pieces on the floor like broken glass. You get to declare to the universe that no matter how many times you've fallen, you still choose to get back up again. Why? Because you may not be perfect and you may make mistakes, but the only way you're going to experience the type of love your heart craves is to commit to being open and vulnerable, no matter what, over and over and over again. I'm reminded of a scene in the movie He's Just Not That Into You. Anybody seen it? Raise your hand. Gigi and Alex are hanging out at his apartment. Gigi gets the wrong idea that Alex is into her, so she basically jumps him and starts kissing him. He pushes her away and says, "Whoa, what's going on here?" Gigi, of course, is embarrassed because she thought he was into her, and Alex gets upset and exclaims, "What have I been saying to you since I met you? If a guy wants to date you, he'll ask you out. Did I ask you out?" "No," says Gigi. "Why would you do this? Why do girls do this? Why do they take every little thing a guy does, build it up in their minds, and twist it into something else? It's insane." To which Gigi replies, and I think this is brilliant, "I'd rather be like that than like you. I may dissect each little thing and put myself out there too much, but at least it means I still care. You think you've won because women are expendable to you. You may not get hurt or make an ass of yourself that way, but you don't fall in love that way either. You've not won. You're alone. I may do a lot of stupid shit, but I know I'm a lot closer to finding someone than you are." Bam! So my love, today I encourage you to embrace your inner Gigi and make a vow to yourself to remain open no matter what, to decide that the quest for open-hearted love is much more relevant to you than winning a game that is not even meant to be played, or won, for that matter. You don't win when it comes to love or other people's hearts. Instead, it's a continual process of opening up and letting go. So I finished this chapter with a promise I want you to write to yourself. And you can write it however you want, but here's an example of what I want you to do. I, Emerald Sinclair, promise to open my heart up to love and all the wonderful and exciting ways that love can present itself to me in life. I commit to taking daily action steps towards loving myself and forgiving others. I know that when I let go of past hurt and pain, I give myself more space to receive additional love. Today and every day, I remind myself that the most essential thing in my life is love. Love of myself and love of others. Help me to remember to listen to my heart daily and follow my desires. Help me to open up and expand my capacity to love beyond what I think is even possible. And allow me to see the love in each and every person and within every situation. With love, me. So I want you to make a commitment to yourself to choose to embody love. Because we've talked about the vibrational scale, and when you choose to be up here at a higher vibration, the lower shit that's gotten in the way in the past and hurt your heart and broken your heart will fall away. It won't even happen anymore. It won't manifest. You won't attract it in. So when you're down here in fear, you will create situations that are like, see, told you so. This always happens to me. Men are pieces of shit. I always get hurt and walked all over. But when you do the work, the forgiveness, the releasing, the letting go, and you choose love, you embody love, and you move yourself up here on the vibrational scale, then these situations don't happen anymore because you're not a vibrational match for them. When I think about the evolution of my relationships over the years, there is no way I would be a vibrational match for Benedict, who I dated when I was 22. There's no way I'd be a vibrational match for Ron, who I met when I was 28. And even now, it's only been 6-7 months since Kurt and I separated, I can see now how we're no longer a vibrational match. So as I've done the work up the scale, my relationships meet me here. And there's some things women tell me around men that they're dating or attracting in. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? There's no way in hell I would put up with that. Like, I would smash that down in an instant, and yet these women are putting up with it for months or years because they're still down here on the vibrational scale of what they believe is possible for themselves and others, and they're still living in sadness or depression or low levels of self-confidence or self-worth, and so life is reflecting that back to them. But when you work your way up here, those situations just don't show up anymore. It's like magnets. You're a magnet. You're always attracting to you. And when you're up here at love, you're magnetizing love. When you're down here in fear, you're magnetizing fear. So work your way up to love. That's why I gave you the love list yesterday. That's why I'm imploring to you to focus on yourself first and to be selfish and stop putting other people's needs and desires first. They're not in your body living your life. This is for you. Exception, if you have small children that actually can't take care of themselves and need to be fed and clothed and bathed up until they reach a certain age, please do your best to take care of your children. Yes, but guess what? They're going to be adults one day, and then they need to take care of themselves. So, single to soulmate is the extension. Okay, I'm gonna answer your question first. Yes, this book would 100% benefit people in a relationship because it's all about manifestation, it's all about self-love, it's all about raising your vibration. Guess what? Anybody in relationship that all of a sudden loves themselves better and is taking care of themselves better, that's going to positively affect the relationship. And then because it's about manifestation too, I've had people read the book and manifest jobs. That's cool. So, single to soulmate is taking this information and diving deeper over the course of many, many months. I said this before, there's no longer an official start date and an end date except for the fact that I just opened the doors and the first group call starts next week. But there's no end date. You can be in the program and on the calls as long as you need, as long as you desire. And even if you're in relationship, you can still jump in and join and do all the modules designed to help you deepen your self-love, to move through the fears, anxiety, and pain of the past, the trauma, the shit you're holding on to against your parents or your lovers and your exes. And then you got libraries of meditations and hypnosis designed to reprogram your mind for what it is you want to call in. You have this amazing supportive Facebook group of other women going through the course. And then you have me on weekly calls where you can ask me anything. And so yes, the point of the group Single to Soulmate is to move through your crap, learn how to love yourself and attract in a healthy relationship. But what I think is beautiful is even if you're in partnership, it's only going to improve your partnership because you're improving your relationship with yourself, which is going to improve your relationship with your partner. So we start next week. You can jump in at any time. Right now I have a special, $500 off until June 1st. And that's pretty much it on Single to Soulmate. So the link is in my bio for Instagram. Facebook, the link is in the header image. And so what questions do we potentially have on the last 3 days on embodying love? Part 1 about trusting yourself and trusting source. There's no way you can embody love if you're still looking over your shoulder at the past and fearful it's going to happen again. Like, I don't trust myself to pick correctly. I don't trust my intuition. And then furthermore, I don't trust the universe. I don't trust men. I don't trust what's out there. There's no way you're going to attract in a healthy relationship if you don't trust yourself and trust the universe. So that's day 1. If you didn't watch it, go back and review it. Day 2, receiving pleasure. So many people give, they're people pleasing, but that's only half of the equation. A healthy relationship is give and take. Manifestation is putting your desires out there, but then making time to receive them, making space to receive them. And then receiving pleasure is working your way up the vibrational scale, because the better you feel, the better you attract. And then today, part 3, connection to self, connection to source, connection to love. I believe love is the energy of creation. I believe love is where we came from. So when you embody love and you're connected into source, you're connected into the universe, you become a powerful creator because you remember who you are. You remember why you came. You remember who it is you're here to serve. You remember your power, your divinity, your greatness. All the bullshit of the ego fades away and you realize, oh, things are now going to get interesting. Let's have some fun. Let's do what I came here to do. Let's go explore the world, or let's be the best mom ever, the most loving, supportive partner. Let's go after my dream business. What is my heart telling me? My heart, my soul, my body is telling me in every moment the direction to go based on what feels right. But do you have the courage to listen? Are you listening? Therein is the ticket. You've got to listen. That's why meditation, I believe, is so important. Being present is so important. Turning off distractions is so important so that you can hear, so that you can feel what's right for you, what's meant for you. The world needs more people in their power, more selfish, connected to self first. So, if we don't have any questions, then I'm gonna let you go, and your homework is to make that commitment to yourself to choose love no matter what. If you're feeling in your body like, ooh, single to soulmate, going deeper into this content of self-love and manifestation, ooh, having a community of women who are also into this stuff that are gonna support me and encourage me, like, ooh, having these weekly calls with Emerald one-on-one and that coaching and support and mentorship. Ooh. So if you're feeling like, ooh, that sounds interesting, ooh, then click the link, go read the page. If it feels like a yes, do it. If you have some questions, ask me. If it doesn't feel like a yes, then that's cool too. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for opening up. Thanks for doing the work. Thanks for committing to yourself. Lucia. I just wanted to thank you. You're welcome, sweetie. I'm growing and learning so much with your guidance. Yes, that's why I do this. So thank you. If right now where you're at is just resonating with the free content, then stay in touch here on Instagram, on the Facebook group, the Manifest It All podcast. If you want to go up a level and for $20 get Destination Soulmate available on Amazon, on Kindle, then do that. Or if maybe you want to try some courses on my website, on money and manifestation, on self-love, do that. If you want to jump into the private coaching and really change your lives in 6 months, do that. If you want to do the group coaching, do that. Wherever you're at on the scale is perfect. But you have to remember that your desires are sacred and they're meant to manifest. And anytime you choose a decision based on fear, you're holding yourself back. But when you make a decision based on love, on desire, on empowerment, then you're moving yourself forward. Lucia, and I did find my vibrational match, and I'm so happy. Yay! Yes, I remember talking to you months ago, and that's not where you were at. And I'm pretty sure you bought the book and started working through Destination Soulmate. So well done, my love. All right, ladies. So I am gonna let you go into your weekend. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your Saturday, enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you on the internets. I will see some of you I know within Single to Soulmate, and I'm just sending you so much love. Mwah. All right. Have a beautiful day.